Hello my friends, how are you? So in this video I'm not going to speak different languages, I just wanna speak only English. But this video will be about how and maybe how I learn different languages and what kind of strategy I have in general. And I would like to speak in this video only English, and I will do my best to make this video understandable as much as possible. Okay, so first about my learning different languages. So a lot of people in YouTube, in Facebook can ask me, for example, how I can speak a lot of languages, and how can you just, for example, speak Italian after 1 week of learning and just be very nice in this language. But sometimes it's really impossible to understand how I can speak this language after 1 week of learning. So it's not very hard I can explain, and I hope that my strategy will be very useful for you. So firstly, when I learn exactly, for example, one language. So what I'm going to do, firstly, it depends on what, in different aspects. It depends on different aspects. For example, what kind of language? For example, is it popular or not? If yes, there is a really great deal of websites if that provide a possibility to learn this language. Okay, but firstly, what I am going to do, it's like to learn how to learn this grammar, how to create different sentences, how to conjugate different verbs and stuff like that. I'm not going to learn a lot of new vocabulary that is really unuseful for me. For example, I have a book, it's called Teach Yourself Indonesian. I have it in PDF in my computer, and I think it's kinda stupid when you see that on first pages you have vocabulary and you have words like vegetarian. But I think it's kind of stupid, because why do I need the word vegetarian when I even don't know how to say hi, how are you? I think it's a little bit stupid, you know? But it's not my aim to prove is it stupid or not. Okay, so I'm going to understand the grammar of this language. If I can understand it a little bit, if I can create a simple sentence, if I can conjugate simple words in past, future, simple tenses, I'm going to use a little bit Google Translator. Why I can use? I want to understand what words are very useful for me. Just if I want to speak this language in first day of learning, I must use some different words. But I must learn very hard words. Just the most common, the most useful for me. Just to make that can allow me to create different sentences, you know. And not very hard sentences, but the easiest ones. But when after it I call someone in Skype, I just start speaking only this language. Not only, yeah, of course I can say some words in English or other languages, but the aim of such creating a conversation from the first day of learning without knowing a really great deal of words. The aim is you can really get used to speaking this language, and the next time you can notice such success when the next day after it you say even those words, but it comes fastly into your brain when you are thinking about it, when you are going to say this word. You just say it, with I don't know, it's coming more better. It's in general, you feel, a little bit comfortable while speaking this language. After it, maybe, of course, at the same time, you are learning new words. Just speaking with one guy, for example, if you don't know how to say one word, you can translate it in Google Translator and say this word. If this guy can say that it's correct, you can write this word. And of course, learn a lot of words every day. After the conversation, maybe in the evening, you just repeat. And I don't know what about other people, but I think that it's common that if you learn whole day words, the next day after it, in the morning, you will remember all of them. I think it's pretty common. So, and in this way, what I'm going to say is like the main thing of learning different languages is just starting to speak this language in the first day of learning. You can just get used to speaking this language, get used to this, just speaking, conjugating different verbs and stuff like that. And after a period, even after 1 week of learning, of course, maybe you don't know a lot of words in this language, but you speak it nice. I think it's better if you are learning, you have been learning this language for 1 year. You know a lot of languages, but if one guy just asks you to say something in this language, it seems like yeah, maybe you know those words, but you cannot feel comfortable speaking this language. I think it's better to speak it and after absorb new words, then absorb new words, and only after several years start speaking this language. I think it's for me it's kind of stupid, and I use especially this strategy. I prefer speaking from the first day. Okay, so just what about practicing a lot of languages? And some people ask me how I can keep a lot of languages in my mind. Every day, in a short piece of paper, I write different words, or not words, languages. For example, if I feel what language I must practice today. For example, as I have there, I can show you. I have a sheet of paper with names of languages, but it's written in Russian. Maybe you will not be able to understand. But what I'm going to say, I have a piece of paper where I write what language I must practice today, despite of the language that I am currently learning. Yeah, and what about different sources of languages, of learning languages? So the most popular, just if you are learning a very popular language, you can use Bussu, Livermorka, language sites like verbblink.com. ShareTalk is very popular because I prefer using it when I wanna find a lot of people to practice this language. It's very popular. So in general, I think that everyone can learn those languages, and it's not very hard. And even if you learn one language after read another, you feel such how to say, satisfaction and such feeling that you can learn other language very easily without any trying. So I think that if you have any questions, you can write me there. So thank you so much for listening, and if you wanna ask me, if you wanna write me, if you wanna speak with me, just contact me in YouTube, in Facebook. It doesn't matter. Okay, see you guys. Bye.